Hello, Negros Oriental.
Hello, Sillimanians around the world.
This is Joshua Soldivillo.
And this is Ronelyn Vailoces-No.
You're watching #Silliman.
Good evening, everyone. This is a magazine program that talks about different aspects of Silliman University.
A program initiated to discuss different matters concerning the campus by the sea. You're watching
#Silliman.
Hello, Sillimanians and friends of Silliman around the world. Thank you very much for joining us for another episode of #Silliman. Daghang salamat for making us as your Monday night company. Of course, Ron, special shout out to all our televiewers via Channel 6 Film Products, and our heart goes to our followers on Facebook
And YouTube.
and of course on YouTube. Keep the likes, sharing, and the comments coming, guys. And of course, last week, Ron, we actually featured our friends from Silliman University Church as we talked about the celebration of the Christian Education and Nurture Month. And of course, it is still in line with the Founders Day celebration this year. And talking about the Founders Day celebration, I think our televiewers would agree that really the highlights of it would be the Miss Silliman, the Mr. Hibalag, and of course the Miss Silliman-International. And friends, we have actually invited the title holders this year, and let's ask kumusta na sila and what are their plans for this school year. And of course, Ron,
Let us first have them introduce themselves because we don't feel worthy to introduce their names.
okay, because we are in awe of their beauty and their handsomeness. All right. So without further ado, friends, we present to you the title holders for this school year.
Good evening, everyone. I am Alyssa Ordoñez, your 77th Miss Silliman.
Hello everybody, I'm Kairos Daron, your Mr. Hibalag 2023.
Hi, my name is Elizaveta Usacheva. I am Miss Silliman-International 2022-2023.
Ayan, yay! Okay, we have a lot of audience tonight, Ron. We have 7,801. Okay, so thank you very much for being on the show. It's always great to have you here, guys. And I'm sure our televiewers are also excited that we have guests in them tonight.
Yes, to keep the ball rolling, let us first ask them. Let's go back to the coronation night. How did you feel during the pageant and when you were announced as a winner of the respective competition that you joined? Let's start with Miss Silliman.
Okay, so I just want to give a little backstory to the night before the coronation, which was our rehearsals. The number one thing that plagued my mind back then was my fear of heights, because when we practiced on that stage, it was such a high platform, and we had to be on the edge, we were dancing, and I was just scared of falling. But then that night also I received an overwhelming amount of support from my friends, and that's really what calmed me down throughout that time. And I carried that in my coronation night as well. And I didn't feel any nerves for some reason. I feel like if you asked I feel like if you asked some people from the committee, from the team, they would have pointed out that my energy there was different. And that's because I felt, I heard, and I saw the support from the medtech department, my family and my friends. And so when Ate Cara and I, Miss Med, were holding hands, I was just satisfied at the journey I have traveled so far. And no matter what the results would have been, I would have been so happy.
But Alyssa, how did you feel when the host announced that this year's Miss Silliman goes to the college of
Take us to that moment.
Okay, so that moment, again, I was so calm, but then the time when they said the word institute, oh my gosh, I heard the ear-piercing screams from the audience, especially the ICLS department, knowing that I was the first ever winner from the ICLS department. So that itself gave me so much energy. I think maybe you've seen the pictures. I was like, wow, and I was so shocked. So I felt shocked. I felt really happy. I felt so blessed.
Wow, congratulations on your victory. And of course, the whole ICLS family, right? I think this is a history indeed. History. And of course, we're also curious about your experience, Kairos, about you, Mr. Hibalag, not 2023, Ron.
But first, how do you feel being in between beautiful ladies?
Well, I'm at loss for words. I strongly cannot compare myself with the elegance of these two ladies. I'm just really in awe of them.
Yeah. So take us to that moment also, Kai, when you were crowned as Mr. Hibalag.
Mr. Hibalag. Well, was actually that night. That night was actually raining, and so
Wow, it was
yes,
raining.
it was raining, and it was actually a night to remember because as I was standing on that stage, I could see a lot of supporters cheering for their candidates. I can also see ICLS cheering for me, and at that time, one thing that kept echoing inside my mind was, "Oh no, my family will get wet because it was raining. There was it was a heavy downpour." And at that time, where it was just Mr. Nursing and I standing on that stage, all I could think of was, you're at the end of this journey. Everything that you did, all of the preparations you've had, all of that will finally pay off after this announcement. And at that time, I could hear my heart beating so fast because, of course, there was only two of us left at that stage. When they announced it was candidate number 3, I did not react right away because my mind was all over the place.
Forgot your
Yes, I
number.
was actually candidate number 3. Oh yeah, I was candidate number 3. Then that's when I started to gasp. I really wanted to cry at that time because I looked back at how I prepared. This journey was never easy, but then by God's grace, we were able to bring home the crown for the second time around.
You guys are both from ICLS.
Yes.
Who got a crown first?
Ours
She
was
did.
the day before.
The day before. So you learned that ICLS won the crown
Yes.
for Miss Silliman. Did you feel in any way
Any
some sort
pressure?
of pressure? That,
Well,
oh my God,
actually-
I also have to do my best because we got the crown for Miss Silliman.
Well, actually, sir, at that night when Alyssa was competing for the Miss Silliman, I was actually on the bleachers cheering for her.
Wow.
When she was announced, the 77th Miss Silliman, a medtech student actually came up to me, "Kai, tomorrow na pod. It's your time to shine." Honestly, that night, I did not sleep at all because I stayed up practicing my ramp walk, my Q&A, our production number. It was until 5 a.m. And I only had 2 cups of coffee to power me for the entire day. So that was basically it. All of those nerve-wracking experiences molded me into that person for that day.
What a journey around.
Let's go to Eliza.
Eliza.
Eliza. Or we should just call you El.
Yeah, that
Alright.
will be easier.
Take us back to that coronation night.
So you probably are not familiar with the pageant of Miss Silliman-International because it's not as big as Miss Silliman or Mr. Hibalag yet. Maybe it will be bigger soon.
Yeah.
So the whole competition goes in one day. So when you're standing on stage during the coronation, you're tired. You're really, really tired because you just did your walks, you just did your singing or dancing, and you just answered all those questions. And you're standing. I was actually standing with my first runner-up, Lauren Posey from USA. We were holding hands. We were looking to each other's eyes, and we're like, "I hope you win." And she said the same thing to me, and we were like standing, really nervous, waiting for the moment to announce. And when they said Miss Russia, I couldn't believe it because I messed up a few things during the competition, and I was like, "Why? What is happening? Why me?" And then actually went so fast when they asked me to come in front and put the crown on my head and fell off the first time. So it was really fast in my mind. I can't really remember what exactly happened, but I can feel the moment I was really nervous and pretty happy because it was my first pageant ever. I've never done a pageant before.
Thank you very much, guys. And that actually is something that we are so honored that you were able to share that moment, taking us at that point in time where you felt all, like, I think, mixed emotions, right? But some of you were confident, one of you didn't even expect to win. And this just goes to show that you were really meant to be where you are today, right? And congratulations once again. Now, of course, in Silliman, we have a very meaningful definition of title holders because it's more than the beauty,
The
it's more
physical
than even the brains,
appearance.
but also especially the heart,
heart.
Ron. So we're just going to pause for a short break. But when we come back, let us get to know more about the advocacies that you're trying to promote, and at the same time, what has changed so far after the coronation night. Friends, stay with us. #Silliman. We'll be back. Welcome back, and you're still watching hashtag Silliman. Ron, before we paused for a short break, we asked them about their advocacies
Yes.
right now. So, and what are the changes in their student lives and even personal lives? May love life na ba after the coronation? Let's ask them that. So we'll start with Elle first. So far, what are you pushing forward as now you are Miss Silliman-International? How would you use your platform to push forward your advocacy?
So my advocacy was about freedom of speech because I find it really important.
Yeah.
And also, right now, I'm one of the officers in HISO, Hibalag-International, students all over the world. So we make events for international students as well as just students from Silliman University. And we give them a platform to speak up, to say what they want, to promote the events they want to promote. Like, a few days ago, we had a day of Japan where we invited people from Japanese university and they sang for us, they taught us some new songs, and they were able to talk about their culture, talk about them as well. It's really important for me when you can express yourself, you can say what you think,
Right.
because it's incredibly essential during our times.
Yeah. Thank you, Elle.
That's true. And now, Cairo, what are you passionate about and how did you use the platform, Mr. Hibalag, to pursue your cause?
Okay. Well, to give a little bit of background, Mr. Hibalag is an advocacy-driven pageant. Therefore, all of the candidates really have to prepare for their advocacy. Now, for my advocacy, I focused on heart health. So it was actually a project entitled Positive Flow. It is a wordplay between the pulse and then the flow. So positive, parang ganon. So positive flow, empowering hearts for health. And this advocacy was inspired by my mother, who is hypertensive, and at the same time, she suffered an ischemic attacks. So this project aimed to promote heart health literacy amongst the senior citizens in Barangay Loo, because a little character development as well. Before being Mr. Hibalag, last year I was a guest speaker for a former Mr. Hibalag candidate, and now being the candidate and being able to share my advocacy, inspired by my mother, who really did went through a lot.
Yeah.
This was a cause that I also wanted to share, not only for those who are actually diagnosed with hypertension and ischemic attacks, but also for our senior residents, because I think that they are the ones who are really vulnerable, especially with all of these conditions. And one of the key factors on this project was being able to deliver health screening activities. Therefore, for this advocacy, I was able to partner with multiple organizations, and we really performed urinalysis, blood pressure screening, blood glucose screening, because I strongly believe that although there is rehabilitation for those who are actually hypertensive, there is also the information campaign for those who want to learn more on hypertension and ischemic attacks. Still, we need to focus more on the clinical aspect.
Yes.
We need to start with the microscopic aspect for us to mitigate the concern before it spreads.
Yeah, and of course, diba? Prevention
Yes.
is
Better
always
than
better
cure.
than cure. Thank you. What a noble cause you
Thank
have,
you so much.
Kairos. And of course, Ron, no? Health is our ultimate wealth. No? Without it, we won't be able to do things. No? How about you,
Alyssa?
Alyssa? What are the things that you've been doing lately as part of your advocacy?
So actually, Kairos and I kind of have similar advocacies as both part of the MedTech department. But my inspiration sparked when we had our public health subject when we went to Gawad Kalinga in Valencia. And that is an underprivileged community that doesn't exactly have much access to laboratory testing. And so what we did was we brought laboratory testing to them. So my advocacy, Susi sa Kalusugan, centers around enlightening the community about preventive healthcare and also bringing not only awareness but also action. And so what we did is bring blood pressure, urinalysis, blood sugar, and hematocrit to that community. And right before Miss Silliman, we were also able to carry that out in Barangay Palenpinon, wherein we partnered with the Silliman University OCESL and also the barangay captain and workers of Barangay Palenpinon. So we were able to serve a total of 50 residents, and hopefully we can go back and Yes,
do
because
some follow-ups.
sustainability, yes. And of course, because of Miss Silliman Foundation, we would be able to reach out even more communities. And what I love about Miss Silliman Foundation this year is that it doesn't just center around the winners' advocacies, actually. They're going to deliver, or they're going to push through with the other candidates'
That's
advocacies as well.
nice. Yeah.
So all 10 of us will be working together because at the end of the day, our job, our duty is to serve the Filipino community. So that's what we're doing hand in hand.
Ang galing.
It's really holistic, these title holders, not just the physical appearance, not just the brains, but they also have the heart. Thank you
heart.
very much for your passion and for the process.
Very
Now,
aligned, no, with our vision and university, the whole person talaga.
Education.
Yeah.
Now, aside from immersing yourselves to the communities and furthering the cause, your passions, what are the most memorable experiences that you had during the journey towards, getting the crown for Miss Silliman-International, Mr. Hibalag, and Miss Silliman? Most memorable experiences. Let's start with Guy.
Okay. Well, I actually won Best in Talent. And I think I've said it a lot to my friends that my talent is not that strong. If there's a pageant, it's the least, it's a segment that I would least prepare for.
Which was?
The talent portion.
Yeah.
And
Your talent was?
my talent was a combination of 3 talents, actually. I did broadcasting, I also sang, I also danced. So parang the notion was 3 in 1. Kinuha ko na lahat. Parang ganun. Hakot Awards, parang ganun.
Like, very quickly, can you give us a sample of your
Yes.
Wow, my
talent?
opening spiel.
Yes, okay.
Well,
Lights, camera, action.
mula sa bulwagang pambalitaan ng Silliman University, narito si Kairos di Daron nagbabalita. There was somewhat along the words.
Wow, what a nice voice. And then, so for you, that's memorable.
That was memorable because not only did I have a laptop in, mixing my audio, I actually borrowed from my friends at CBA and CED.
It was a one-man team.
It was a one-man team, actually, and a lot of nights I really did immerse myself in how do I edit this video, how do I edit this tape. A lot of improvisations were made, but at the end, all of it
Because
paid off.
he had to stand out, no, and be unique when it comes to the talent, not just an ordinary singing or spiel, but it has to be unique, right? How about you, Elle? What is the most memorable so far?
Actually, Miss Silliman-International was actually really far ago.
Yeah.
It was last year, so it's really hard to remember, but I think the most memorable was a few things. And it's usually not really the good things that happen.
Yeah.
It's when something goes out of control or something goes wrong. So I think first memorable thing was that I came in actual formal costume. While 2 of the girls who also participated, they came in a really pretty gowns.
Okay.
I didn't know that because in the instruction they said formal attire, and I was really confused. What type
mean
of
by
formal?
formal?
Yeah, formal attire. What is formal attire for a pageant? So I decided formal. That means like kind of a business or something. And I put on this casual outfit, and when I came and saw their gorgeous dresses, I was like, what did I do? And the second part, it was actually answering the question, and the question was about the state of my country, what is happening right now, and it touched my heart really hard, and I started to cry.
Oh.
And I thought I'm not gonna win because I started to cry. And this was a really hard experience, but I'm glad that I came through it.
Yeah.
Because I needed it. I couldn't speak about it with anybody else except with my family.
Right.
So I took that step, and right now I feel more comfortable talking about this.
And I think, Ron, the more authentic you are, the more,
You deserve the crown.
diba? The more deserving you become. Okay? How about you, Alyssa?
So in all honesty, I think I prepared more for the preliminary night than the coronation night. That's when we had our talent presentation and our advocacy speech.
What did you do for your talent?
So for my talent, my talent was a mix of songwriting and singing. I don't know if a lot of people were able to notice that I changed the lyrics to my favorite song, which is Part of Your World. So I made it about the earth, the
Can
environment.
you give us quickly a short sample?
Yes.
Oh my god, okay. We need to heal what the planet's lost. We wanna see it thriving. Earth is a gift, but we're trapped in a prison of heat. That's all.
I got goosebumps.
Actually,
How about you, El? What did you do for your talent? Did you also sing?
I sang a Russian traditional song.
Can you give us a short sample
Although
of
we
it?
can understand, but please
Okay.
do the honor.
It might sound weird for you, but I hope you like it.
Yeah.
Di ka moja rečenka, ty tečeš, da nie kolíbnešься.
Wow.
But what does it mean?
Oh, this song actually has a really interesting story. It's about a bride who doesn't have parents, and she's been going through a wedding, going to her partner family, because it's really hard for her to become a part of that family. So she's talking about her feelings.
Okay.
But the song actually directly translates as a river who is flowing through the world, like
Yeah.
yeah.
Don't resist, just flow. Now, speaking of flow, the next part of our interview with you is we have prepared a short game.
Wow.
And this game is called Guess the Title Challenge. All right. So we will usually, some games would play the tune and you will have to guess the song, right? The title of the song. But this time, what we're going to do is we're going to just read the lyrics. And of course, you have to compete. This is another competition.
Yes.
More prestigious than just kidding. So you just have to raise your hand if you know the song. And let's see who will get the most number of points. Ron, are you ready? Ronelyn will be our game master for tonight.
Yes, and Joshua
Ron?
will sing the song.
Maybe. Or we can ask them. They have very good
Yeah.
vocal tone. Okay. So here is the first song.
I'm so sick of running as fast as I can, wondering if I'd get there quicker if I was a man. And I'm so sick of them coming at me
Okay,
again.
we have an answer.
Isn't it A Man by Taylor Swift?
Let's more. Yes, you're
I'll be
kind of
the man.
right, but there is a one word.
So
was
it's wrong. Okay. Yes.
The Man by Taylor.
Yay,
that's
the man.
it.
1 point for
Wow, the Silliman.
Mr. Hibalag 0 and Miss Silliman-International 0. Okay, Ron, next song.
Next song. I know the other girls want to wear expensive things like diamond rings, but I don't want to be the puppet that you're playing on a string. This queen don't need a king. Oh, I don't.
All right.
Does it still look pretty?
Yeah,
Yes.
that's right. Bye, Daya.
1 point for Mr. Hibalag. Ron, next song.
Again, we were good, we were gold. Kind of dream that can't be sold. We were right till we weren't. Built a home and watched it burn.
Okay, we have
Is it Flowers?
flowers.
Miley Cyrus.
Okay,
Yeah, that's
correct.
right.
We were
2 points. How many
Alyssa
songs?
is so competitive. We have 3 more songs.
3 more songs. Okay, still have a chance, guys. Go.
I will leave my heart at the door. I won't say a word. They've all been said before, you know? So why don't we just play pretend like
Okay.
5, 4,
4, 3.
Someone like you?
2.
No.
What?
Okay, continue reading, Ron.
So why don't we just play pretend like we're not scared of what's coming next, or scared
Sorry, you look
Nice. I just realized
or
it now.
scared of having nothing left. Look, don't get me wrong. I know there is no
Yes.
tomorrow.
All I Ask by Adele.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes, correct. 3 points now. 3, 1, 0. Okay, go, El. You can do this.
Yeah.
We have 2 more songs.
Yes. Losing him was blue, like I'd never known.
Okay, El.
Taylor Swift, Rad.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
right. You're a Swiftie. I can say.
1 point now. All right.
All right, two
Last, this is
more.
our last song or two
No,
more?
there are
Okay, 2 more songs.
Left me living fast somewhere in the past, cause that's for chasing cars. Turn out open bars lead to broken hearts and going way too far. I know I used to be crazy. I know I used to be fun. You say I used to be wild. I say I used to
Yes,
be.
Elle?
Oh no, I forgot the name.
5,
It's Miley Cyrus.
4,
Um,
3.
I was young or something.
It's something like that, but
Okay,
it's not
wrong.
like that.
Okay, continue reading, Ron.
You tell me time has done changed me. That's fine. I've had a good run. I know I used to be crazy. That's cause I used to be young. Take one,
5,
pour it out.
3. Okay,
No,
next song,
a
Ron.
next
What's
song.
the correct?
Used to be young.
Can you sing a portion of it, Ron?
I know I used to be crazy.
Okay na, Ron. Okay, next song.
Uto.
May lumalaban din eh. Okay. This is
Alright.
our final song.
Final
This is
song.
worth 5 points. Okay, play it or read it.
You're dripping like a saturated sunrise.
Okay.
Colors by Halsey.
That's
Oh,
right.
guys,
Let's
we've got
give our title
winner.
holders a big round of applause.
Yes. Our champion for this Yes That Song challenge is our Miss Silliman. Thank you very much, guys, for being here. And we are so happy that you are continuing really, your
Yes.
advocacy with so much passion, so much energy. And I think that's what the title is all about, right? And on that note, would you like to give a special shout out or maybe greet someone
Or perhaps let's just end this this conversation with this
Phrase.
question.
Uh-uh.
With this question. If there will be young people watching and they would like to follow your footsteps, what are your advice or your pieces of advice for them?
Very quickly, let's start with our Miss Silliman-International.
So, if you're international, so first step you need to come to Silliman University. That's pretty obvious. You need to be passionate about something. It doesn't matter what it is, but something in your heart needs to scream. So, and you need to be brave. Just take one step. As I was actually gaslighted by my friend to be a part of this pageant, you just need to be brave and take this first step, take a part in a pageant. And then you'll be already inspired by all the atmosphere, by all the other candidates, by people around you. And it will just go. You will participate, you will win because you have something in your heart that you really care about and you can do it.
Yeah. Be brave.
Be brave.
And you can do it. Thank you so much, Elle. Kai, very quickly.
3 things I'd like to share to the youngsters watching out there. First, you have to be a man of vision. You need to picture out what you want and to prepare yourself for the big stage is never really easy. I would advise for you to be strong because the pageant would require a lot, not just your physical strength, but also your emotional strength. Second, you need to have your inspiration. Going back to your advocacy, what's the story that you want to tell? It's always important for you to recognize that because Mr. Hibalag itself is an advocacy-driven pageant, and being a Mr. Hibalag would entail not just being able to wear the crown, but being a man of your own words and responsibility as well. Lastly, I would advise for you to be yourself, be authentic. Crying won't make you less of a man, and pain is okay. It's okay to show vulnerability because that is what makes you human.
Okay.
Thank you, Kai.
So I'd love to share for the aspirants for being the next Miss Silliman, you need to know your heart, know your purpose, and know your potential. Because if you know what you're fighting for and you're grounded by your purpose, then everything will just come to you. It's all authentic, And I also want to encourage you to never lose your authenticity, because what you need to showcase to the world is yourself and your vision, and that's what makes you powerful, your individuality. And at the same time, I know that we should never underestimate the existence of a support system. I personally had the best support system, my friends and my family who are also here. Wow!
So supportive.
So supportive. So yes, I want to give a shout out to them, but also you need to have someone to cry to, you need to have someone to share your rants to, because of course you can't do this alone, because no man is an island. And I guess the last tip would be, don't compromise your authenticity. You always need to, I've actually already said this before, but you need to be authentic. You need to also be spontaneous, because if you're always so rehearsed, then that's not gonna come naturally to you.
So
if there's one,
calculated.
if there's one thing I learned from the pageant, is that confidence doesn't come when you know all the answers, but when you're ready to face all the questions. So that's the mindset of a Miss Silliman. I think that's what it should be all the time.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, guys. And of course, to our ultimate support system, our televiewers and our social media followers, thank you very much for joining us tonight. See you next week, and to God be the glory. Hey there, Sillimanians and friends of Silliman around the world. Daghang salamat for joining another episode. And of course, continue supporting our Facebook page. It's called #Silliman. Don't forget to like, comment, and share your favorite episodes. We also have a YouTube channel. Don't forget to click the notification bell for you to be updated with our recent posts. See you there.
And catch us at Field Products Channel 6 every Monday at 8 p.m. Replays will be shown every Tuesday before the noontime news and every Saturday after the noontime news. This has been Ronelyn by Vailoces-No.
And Mr. Joshua Soldivillo. Kita-kits next week only here on
#Silliman.